Okay, now I've got some more colours out. I've decided I'm going to paint his shirt orange. Now, today, just to clean my brush, I'm just using a wet wipe. You can just use water and a cloth. So I'm going to go for a bright orange t-shirt with a white collar. Up so we can all see. Don't forget to do the edge of your canvas. I'm using a flat brush to do this because I can get a nice line with it. Okay, I'm using a different brush. I'm going to just paint that collar white. You might want to wait a little bit for the paint to dry before you do that. I'm just doing it very carefully. Make sure when you're painting on a canvas that you don't leave any white spots behind. Fill up your space. Try not to leave lumps in your work either. Okay, so very bright background, bright collar, sorry, bright shirt. Okay, we need a face color. So let's mix a little bit of my orange with some of my white. And I'm just going to take some of this brown. It's a reddish brown. Still a little bit dark. Let's take some more white. And what color you want to do your skin, that's up to you. Okay, make sure you mix everything that's on your brush. If your paint's getting a little bit, if it's a hot day and it's getting a little bit dry, you can add a tiny bit of water. Okay. I'm going to do the main areas with this brush. Don't forget to do the neck. I'm going close to the hair. I'm going to come back and fix that up with a smaller brush. Don't forget to turn your canvas. I always find it easier to turn my canvas. Now you notice that I did start with drawing my face and hair with an orange pencil. Do that instead of a lead pencil because then you won't see the pencil line when you've finished. Okay, I need to use my smaller brush just now to get in. Doesn't matter if you go over the parts where you plan to do hair because you can add them back in later. That does help you guide as to where you did place some of those bits of hair. I've got some hanging below. I can put some more of those in later. So you can change your design as you go. Okay, let's do the ears. other ear over this side. Now you don't have to use a flat brush if you prefer to use a round brush. I just find I can control my straight lines easier with a flat brush. Okay, that's where we're up to. So while that's drying, I'm going to clean my brushes. So I'll be back in a moment. Okay, next step we'll need is some texture paste. So I'm using Mott modeling paste. And you'll need a modeling knife, or you could just use an ordinary knife. Now, let me just clean some space on my tray. And I can put some of my paste on my tray. Move that so you can see. Okay, let's put the lid back on my paste so it doesn't dry out. Clean the edges off. Saves the lid sticking to it. Okay, move that out of the way. Okay, next we need to decide on what colour hair we're going to have. So we're going to mix it with the knife. So move your, yeah, I'm going to mix some of this colour in. Like mixing icing for a cake. And I want his hair to be a little bit darker. So I'm using some of this darker brown as well. Now try not to use your paint brushes, as the texture paste will dry on them and they'll be really hard to clean. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mix all of that colour in. I'm going to need another tool to help do that. It's just like a plastic knife. I might need to get a bit more colour. Okay, it's just still a bit light because we're mixing into a white medium. You need to make sure you get plenty of colour to go in. Let me just scoop that with my brush. Okay, and let's mix that in with some of our paste. We'll leave some of the lighter colour because we can do some contrast with the hair colour. Okay, let me just clean that one. Whites are probably the best thing to use for these. Okay, let's use some of our dark colour to put on our area first. Okay, so spread it around the edges first. Might want to use a knife to do that. Like you're icing a cake. Okay, so I'm just filling in the main spaces. Just trying to get a reasonable sort of line happening in the hairline, but we can fix that up. Doesn't have to be too exact. Okay, now with my other tool, I'm going to get some paint happening down here. Start to put on so it looks like it's hair coming over his face. Doesn't matter if it looks messy, he's going to be a bit of an untidy fellow. However you want his hair to look, or her hair, if you're doing a girl. You can add a bit more texture to the top. Just scoop some out. Okay, now I need to do my little fiddly bits down there. Here. I might use a brush for that, but then I'll have to wash my brush straight away. And let's do a little bit of hair on this side, a bit messy with his ear. Make sure the yellow's not showing through. Okay, doing pretty well so far. I just need to make that a little bit more textured. With my brush, maybe try and get a better texture. There. Get you can turn these tools over so you can use the other side as well. Okay, let's add a bit of interest by adding some of our light colour as well. So I'm just going to kind of model it. And like he's been out in the sun. So the front of his hair is just a little bit lighter. It's got little highlights. Okay, a bit hard to see the texture. Maybe if I hold it sideways, you get the idea. So we get that 3D effect. Okay, and later, when it dries, so we don't bump our work, we'll fill in our face. You can do that with paint pens, or you can do it with a paintbrush. We might try it with paint pens. Okay, next step is to design how your face is going to look. So I've done a rough drawing here of my face, remembering the hair comes down like that. I'm going to do a very simple nose, very simple nose, and our eyes. Now I'm going to have them, our eyes like this, with a bit of an eyebrow there, and then I'm going to draw a shape like that. I'm actually going to do a blue iris with a black dot, and then we're going to have a very simple mouth. Okay, you might like to have his mouth open. Up to you. Might change that as we go. So what I suggest is you just use a coloured pencil just to lightly sketch the points where you want to be. So our nose is going to sit down here. Don't need to draw the whole thing. My mouth there. And eye is going to be there. If you do it with a soft coloured pencil, you'll find it's easier to rub out if you make a mistake than using a lead pencil on canvas. Okay, so there's my basic shapes for my eyes. So I'm going to colour my iris in first. Good idea to have a piece of paper just to check your crayons are working. Now I'm going for the complementary of orange for my eyes. I'm going to go for blue. So I'm going to colour my iris in. Try and make it the same on the other side. And you'll find this is probably a little bit easier with a paint pen than with that's very thick paint pen, so it's a little bit tricky. Okay. What I also thought I'd do is put some orange lines on his shirt as well. So let me do, I might use, instead of using a pink colour, I think I might use an orange to do his nose. Just so it doesn't show out too much. I don't want it sticking up too much, but you can use whatever colour you want. To do. Now you'll need to wait till everything dries really well. Now that's just the iris, so I need to do the rest of the eye. actually need my white pen to fill in as well. Otherwise his eyes are looking the same colour. Should have done that first, probably. We'll get back to that. Okay, I'll get my white in a moment. What I thought I'd do is add some orange. It's going to have a stripe going around on his collar. And I'll put some white stripes. Actually, I might put some black stripes on his shirt. And the button. Here on his shirt, just for a bit of interest. Let's do another one just underneath. Okay, I just need to go and grab my white pen. I'll be back. Okay, so it would have been probably better to do our white first. If that's okay, we can go back and touch up. Using pen pens, it's pretty easy to go back and fill in. Is running out. I'm going to make the eyes the same if you can. My blue is mixing a little bit with my white, but it's okay. I can go over my white again anyway. I'll try a different white textile. You need to clean your textures if you've used them on other surfaces. That's better. Okay, we can let that dry. We can come back and do some more on that in a moment. Basically, there's my anime figure with texture hair. Don't forget, you can mix your own browns. If you're not sure, have a look at my painting mixing colours video. Okay, see you soon. Bye.